Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Unicorn Cup Finals. We are here for the second session to find out who will be that ultimate winner, who will win this summer season. Great to see everyone. Welcome everybody who is getting connected. You can watch us live, and we are starting right now. Can I have video, please? After a short video, there'll be an introduction.
Anna, you're muted.
Good morning, America and Australia. Good evening, Europe and Africa. Good night, Asia. I'm very glad to welcome you to the Unicorn Cup Finals. My name is Anna Fedorova, and I'm CEO of the Unicorn.Events and Chief Partnership Officer at Startup Network, who is the organizer of this truly extraordinary, the world's largest startup pitch contest by geography and the number of the events held already. We are broadcasting to the whole world thanks to our sponsors, Platinum sponsor, Network VC California, Seed Fund, the main center of venture activities, Golden sponsor, Silicon Valley Syndicate Club, where the hottest deals for business angels are made, and Silver sponsor, Startup Inc., for small check investors from all over the world. Thank you very much. Finally, we have all gathered together after going over a huge number of startup applications from countries all over the world. Today, you will see the best ones pitch live at our amazing events. The winners of the preliminary unicorn battles that got the highest scores from our juries and have the honor to represent their region. And additionally, we have two best startups, jury's choice and sponsor choice. Meet our contestants from all over the world: Sylvan Source, Primacy Optimization, Matricelf, Abivin, Remedium, Syte.bio, SteadySense, Eunimart, SpeedSize, Voxel Bionovator. Welcome and wish you good luck. And besides startup speaking live, please check out our great contestant who is in our expo session. It's Zozo Day, the founders here in chat. Please be sure to check out the great solution. Unicorn.Events is an open competition where successful startups pitch live for private investors and venture funds for 12 years already. We have done enormous number of the events almost in all countries of the world. In a little, we are doing really great, and our startups are really successful because they're meeting the investors directly. Our VC community keeps growing, and we are very glad and welcome new startups and new partners. In little more than a month, we'll be discovering new great innovations. Not to miss any of the startup speech and live, life hacks from VCs, wonderful life hacks from successful startups. Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. It's called Unicorn.Events. Put likes. This way you will help startups all over the world. This season wouldn't have been so successful without our great partners who are doing unicorn pitches with us. Local events for local startups where international investors are present. Thank you, Brandpreneurs, Activate, Venture Crew, Asta Global Partners, Idea Capital Ventures, Happy Farm, and Indochina Consulting. You are really, really great professionals. And we are welcome new partners. If you want to do business with us, please be sure to contact us and we'll talk about it some more. We will do many, many more local events all over the world. Thank you. That was all for us. Welcome at the Unicorn Cup and welcome our hosts for today, Marina and Mary, great girls who are doing amazing events. Girls, the floor is yours. Let's see what the second session will be about.
Hello, everybody. It's nice to see you again. And thanks for joining us today and sharing our great event, hopefully. So as traditionally, I would like to say many thanks to our partners. These guys are supporting us all the time, and we are very thankful to you. And let's have our mission in the world together. And thanks for your great support. Then I would like to announce the next slide. The next slide, as you know, we have our official judges invited today. And Anna will tell us more about official judges. Anna, I'm passing the word back to you.
Thank you, Marina. Yes, we have people who are playing special role, not only judging startups on behalf of their venture funds, but also judging on behalf of the region or the country. They are doing an amazing job sharing their wisdom with the startups and doing all the best they can to help you out, guys. And let's start with Alexander Soroka, who is CEO and founder of Startup Network. He's representing this global ecosystem. Alexander, please tell us what you invest in, what industry, what check size, and what geography, and who are you looking for here?
Hello, Anna. Hello, everybody. I'm glad that today we have a finally, and so we'll know the winner. Probably it's not the final goal to be the winner today, because, you know, for example, 2 seasons ago, the startup which took just the 7th place in our Unicorn Cup raised $22 million US. So maybe 7th place is even better than 1st place. Of course, it's a joke. It's always good to be on the 1st place, but you know, we understand that the final destination is money. And if we talk about our funds, our seed fund and our syndicate fund usually invest up to 500K. We do approximately 2 deals per month this year. And we invest in seed and round A stage, and we industry agnostic, and we are geographically agnostic today. Thank you, Anna.
Thank you, Alexander, and welcome to the final session. And I see Marisa Alma McGuinness, our great friend from Silicon Valley. She's representing this region today. She's LP at Bloomberg Capital and Golden Seed Silicon Valley alumni. Hi, Marisa, great to see you.
Hi, Anna. Hi, Marina. Hi, Mary. Good morning. And good luck to all the startups. I've probably seen a bunch of them already, and they're going to be fabulous. Anyway, Bloomberg they're geographically agnostic. They invest up to 10 million. Golden Seeds invests only in women-founded companies, and they go from, the check size is 250 to 2.5 million. The areas I'm interested in, and the same thing with Blumber, is fintech, DeFi, and cryptocurrency, drones, AI, the usual. Okay. Good luck, everybody, and have a great pitching event. Thank you.
Thank you, Marisa. Very, very glad to see you. And also, please welcome Gaurav Shah, who is representing India today. He's managing partner at Arete Ventures. Hi, Gaurav. Great to see you with us.
Hi, Anna. Hi, Marina. And hello to all the fellow judges over here. Hi. So good to be here for the final competition. Anna, Alex, Kate, Lena, great job throughout this season. Hello, everyone. This is Gaurav from Arete Ventures. We are a strategy consulting firm based out in Mumbai and San Francisco. My best wishes to all the participants and all the finalists today. As Alexander mentioned, right? Even the candidate that ranked 7th raised $22 million. If you have reached here, I'm sure you all are going to do very well, and our best wishes to you all. Thank you, Anna. Thank you, everyone. Good luck, all the participants.
Welcome. And I see Mr. Marat Tolibayev. He is representing Kazakhstan at our final session. He's founder of the investment holding Activate and the head of the closed investor club Pragmatic. Hi, Marat. Great to see you with us.
Hi, everybody. I'm glad to be in this event. Yes, I'm from Kazakhstan, and our invest company Activate looking for startups in this area, Middle Asia, Kazakhstan, Russia, Belarus, Ukraine, and our normal check around 100,000, and we are looking for startups on early stage. And I wish good luck to all participants.
Wonderful. Thank you, Gaurav. And also, please welcome from Kazakhstan. We are moving to the different continent. A pretty woman from Canada representing this region. She's founder and investor at Men's International. Please welcome Kelly Luo. Hi, Kelly.
Hi, Anna. Thank you for having me. Hello, everyone. Nice to meet you.
Can you change your direction of your device? Because you're
sorry. There's some
technical
issue. There's some technical issues with the virtual background. I'm just working on that. Sorry for that. So thank you again for having me. Nice to meet you, everyone. I'm Kelly Luo, founder and investor at Men's International. We are interested in deep tech, namely artificial intelligence, Internet of Things, and advanced materials in the manufacturing and healthcare sector, especially for non-invasive medical devices. Our check size is up to $5 million for a single portfolio project. And then we just recently launched a $30 million new fund. So all the best, everyone. Thank you.
Good luck to you with your fund and finding the best deals here. Welcome, Kelly. And also, please welcome our friend from Pakistan, Mr. Gaurav Shah. Gaurav is the founder and CEO at Amhata and Arazi Ventures. Hi, Gaurav. Oi, hi, Umar. Hi, Umar. I'm sorry, the second session. Hi, Umar. He doesn't hear me. Okay, we can move on then to the expert board. Marina, can you represent those great guys who will be judging startups besides our official judges? And then we'll come back to official judges again if it's needed. Marina.
Okay, I was waiting for this great moment. So I'm excited to introduce our judges. Please raise your hand if you want to introduce yourself. Just 1 minute for a short, brief introduction. Who would like to be the first one?
Hey, Marina, I'll kick it off. Instead of raising my hand, I'll be extremely quick and extremely short. cut to the point. Henry, I'm here, have been an expert board for quite some time with Unicorn.Events. It's great to be here. I have an advisory firm that does advisory work with startups in fractional CFO and COO work. Also a venture partner for a syndicate fund, early stage investments from late seed to Series B, focusing on fintech, blockchain, crypto assets, enterprise data-driven company. Great to be here. Looking forward to the show. Good luck to all the participants today. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Henry. Who would like to take the floor? I see Stuart. Hi, Stuart.
Hey, everyone. Hi, Anna, Marina, and Kelly. Great to see you here, a fellow Canadian. Great to be here. My name's Stuart Brown. I'm the CEO of a venture capital firm called PiCap Venture Partners. We're based downtown Toronto. We invest in early stage tech companies. We're basically industry agnostic. And we're actually also a designated entity for the Startup Visa program. So any entrepreneurs who are looking to immigrate to Canada, we could facilitate that for you through our incubator, and we could also get you finance of about $300,000. So I'll put my contact information in the chat window. Feel free to contact me anytime, and we could see how we could help you with that goal.
Great.
Good luck, everyone. Thanks.
Thank you. Thank you. Who jumps in?
Yeah, I can go. This is Gary. Great to be here. Great to see all familiar faces. My name's Gary Fowler. I'm a serial entrepreneur and investor. I've done 17 companies, been involved in 2 unicorns. On the original management team at Click Software, sold to Salesforce for $1.35 billion, and also Eva.ai. I am the CEO, president, co-founder of GSD Get Shit Done Venture Studios, a premier AI and quantum venture studio located in Silicon Valley. We curate companies. We fund companies up to $2 million. We're involved in helping the companies through IPOs. We take active roles in the company, a little bit different than a lot of folks. We actually take operational roles. And the idea is that intellectual capacity is evenly spread, but opportunities aren't. And we want to help make those dreams come true. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Harry. And
We can move on if it's.
we can move on. I'm still expecting somebody. Okay. So if we don't get back to the official judges, then there's the part with the startups, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. Mary, it's your turn.
Pass the word to Mary then. Mary?
Sorry. Hello, everyone. First of all, we would like to recommend you not to mention any fundraising, any numbers out loud, because our event is broadcasting all over the world and some countries have some restrictions. Use our chat and any other means of communication. So let's start today our second session with the first startup winner of Middle East and Africa. Please welcome Matricelf. Asaf Talk speaks.
Thank you very much. My name is Asaf and I'm the CEO of Matricelf. We are an Israeli company that develops a platform for autologous 3D printing of tissues and organs. Well, the problem that we are facing is that every 30 minutes, somebody in the world dies while he is waiting for an organ transplant. And there are millions of patients that are suffering from tissue-related diseases in which a single tissue damage leads to a disease that usually poses a huge economic, social, and medical burden. Try to envision a day that we will have a technology that will enable us to produce any tissue and any organ within weeks from a simple, small biopsy from the patient himself. Try to imagine a technology so advanced that it was used to 3D print the first ever human printed heart. Well, you don't need to imagine anymore because this is exactly what we do. We are an Israeli company doing regenerative medicine. And as I said in the beginning, we produce a platform for autologous 3D printing of tissues and organs. We already know how to produce cardiac tissues that we can use for myocardial infarction. We know how to produce dopaminergic implants that we can use for Parkinson's disease. We also know how to create orbital implants for age-related macular degeneration. And in 2019, we even printed the first ever human printed heart. But the main focus of Matricelf is spinal cord injury. You see here Yariv Bash, the co-founder of Space.IL, who took Bereshit, a lunar, to the moon, and he's paralyzed in a wheelchair. And he said in one of his interviews that humanity succeeded in reaching space, but the 2 centimeters missing in his spinal cord, nobody ever managed to do. And unfortunately, Yariv is not by himself. There are 17,000 cases in the US alone, leading to irreversible loss of motor, sensor, and autonomic function, and a very expensive disease. And we actually do exactly the same platform. We produce from a biopsy the cells and the scaffolding material, and then we produce a neural implant that we implant back in the patient. Currently, we have preclinical trials, and you can see that in the control group, the mice that were not treated, you see that they are limping, they're not moving one of their legs. And when we used our implants, all mice regained their walking abilities. So we are currently planning a first human clinical trial in 2024. We already had a pre-IND meeting with the FDA, and with a great technology and an amazing team like we have, we truly believe that we are making people walk again while we are regenerating the future of medicine. Thank you very much for your time. We'll take any question now.
Thank you. Any questions from our juries? Please raise your hands. Okay, we have the first hand from Gaurav, please.
Asaf, are you using the DLP or holographic method?
Sorry?
Are you using DLP or a holographic method?
We use a complete autologous implant. We take a biopsy from the patient omentum. We create both the scaffold, and we take the cells, we reprogram them into induced pluripotent stem cells. And then within the gel that we are producing from the patient himself, we differentiate those cells to be whatever tissue that we want it to be.
So, Asaf, I have a follow-up question. There is a company based out in San Diego called Allegro 3D. They already have created a solution to spinal cord injury, as you know, about 3 years back, and they are now well into the commercial launch mode in the similar autologous regenerative process, right? How are you different, and what makes your process unique compared to them? Also, I wanted to bring to your attention, if you know or not, there is another company based out in Austin called as Tevido Sciences, and Rocket based out in South Korea. They both are also in the similar autologous regeneration process. Yeah,
sure.
Go ahead. But Asaf, how does it compare with Allegro 3D?
Sure. So what differentiates us is that we create a complete autologous implant. We don't only use the cells that most of the company are doing. We create a 3D neural network that we implant in the patient, which is the major differentiator that compared to other companies that some of them you mentioned, and there are several others that are doing spinal cord injuries.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. And the next question is from Alexander and then Marisa, please. Alexander.
Hi, are you doing any work with cartilage regeneration?
So as I said in the beginning, it is a platform, but we are focused now on spinal cord injuries because regulatory-wise, it is the simplest. Simplest is it's not the right word. It's the shortest and regulatory-wise easiest way to get to first in human. And once we prove that it works, we will take it to additional medical fields, and probably cartilage will be one of them.
So are you getting going for the FDA approval, or are you doing the European?
So we already had a pre-IND meeting with the FDA, and so we have all the roadmap of our future preclinical safety trials and the synopsis of the clinical trial as well.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much, Alexander. The question from you.
Thank you. Can you tell more about this shirt that you made and I saw on the screen?
Yeah.
What's
So,
happened after? Yeah.
In 2019, we printed the first ever human printed art. We took a biopsy from a real person. We created the extracellular matrix and the cells. We differentiated the cells to be all the different components of the heart, and we printed a first ever human printed heart. And what we actually do now in the lab is basically teach those hearts how to function. You can see here the heart, and we transplant it on a rat intestine, and actually teaches those hearts how to function. And eventually the plan is to disconnect the animal original heart to see that it works, and then take it further to more animal studies and at the end to humans.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you. Still have the opportunity to ask any questions. Please raise your hands. Okay. Okay, I see. Gaurav, one more question, right?
I have one more question. You know, with the regenerative therapies, there is an advantage that the body does not attack because it's your own cells, right? The immune system does not trigger in a negative way. But there are also risks involved in how the cells are cultured, cultivated, reintroduced back into the body, right? And that can also have implications. How do you mitigate those risks? Because successful clinical trials are important to the growth of your business. How do you mitigate those risks?
Definitely. So first of all, we have a QA plan that actually examines each implant to see that all the cells are fully differentiated. None of them are in a non-mature form that can further differentiate. And we are still needing to do a safety trial. That one of the major one is the teratogenicity trial to see that those cells actually in a year in an animal does not make any malignancies or any tumors. So it's
or it does not multiply elsewhere in the body.
Yeah, so it's a part of the R&D plan, and also a part of the QA, the quality assurance plan of each batch release before it goes to a patient.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Time is up, and our next startup, Mary, please.
Thank you, Asaf. And we are moving to Asia. Today, India is represented by Eunimart. Shayak Mazumdar will talk. Please welcome.
Hi, can you guys hear me? Hello?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, awesome. So 1.8 million businesses, sorry, 1 second. 1.8 million businesses are likely to shut down by the time this pandemic gets over. And that's not because they don't have the right products. It's mainly because they're finding it difficult to adjust to the new normal and sell on e-commerce. COVID has given e-commerce very strong tailwinds. There has been an explosion of people buying online. McKinsey says that 52% of all brand sales will come from e-commerce by 2025. That is a whopping 3 times growth in 5 years. Yet, most brands agree that this is the biggest problem that they need to solve. Now, if a brand was to sell only on a single channel, Shopify or Amazon would probably be their best bet. However, most brands today sell on multiple channels of sales to maximize their revenues. As the number of channels of sales increases, the complexity increases exponentially. That is why we built Eunimart, to help the brands to sell on all channels of sales, from Shopify to Amazon and more. I'm Shayak. I'm the co-founder and CEO of Eunimart. I'm a retired officer, Indian Navy, and an INSEAD MBA. In my last job as the managing director of cross-border e-commerce at Rocket Internet, I helped thousands of businesses from LATAM, Africa, South Asia, and China scale their business across the world. At Eunimart, we help the brands to sell on 25 e-commerce channels across 100 countries through one platform, helping them to increase their revenues by 2 times and reduce costs by 35%. Our SaaS platform takes care of everything that is core to the brands: e-commerce, shipping, supply chain, and marketing. We use artificial intelligence to predict sales, optimize pricing, images, content, etc. We have raised $2 million in investment so far, working with 200 businesses and have $400,000 in annual revenues. We have 50 plus key partners from across the world who we are integrated with. Now, our main revenue model is SaaS, but the scalable revenue model, which we launched recently, is commission. The AI tools that we provide save the merchant 7 to 12% costs and help them to increase their revenues significantly. Eunimart is not a channel of sale like Shopify. Our main competitors are Channel Advisor and Pitney Bowes, which also provide multi-channel support. However, unlike us, they are legacy platforms, not supported by artificial intelligence. Marketing is still driven manually. Supply chain is not integrated, making it very difficult for smaller companies to use their services. Our founding team has all ex-entrepreneurs with 70 years of combined experience across e-commerce, supply chain, and strategy. We understand the pain that these small businesses face, and we are passionate to help them succeed. We are partnered with Vodafone, HSBC Bank. We've been selected by Techstars, Alchemist, and Google Search. The pandemic will lead to major changes in the way people shop online, and most businesses will struggle to survive. We have this opportunity to support their growth and create a lasting difference. I request all investors to come join me and Eunimart as we embark on this journey. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Now questions, please raise your hands. Gaurav, please.
Hi, Shaq. Shaq, I think your real competitors should be companies like Brightpearl, SellerActive, or Ecom-Dash, right? As you mentioned, Channel Advisors and Pitney Bowes, they are legacy ones, but Ecom-Dash, SellerActive, Brightpearl, I don't know if you know of them, but you know they have the same integrated holistic approach end-to-end and have a similar pricing model, particularly Ecom-Dash that's based out in Massachusetts on the East Coast. Do you have any idea about these real competitors that offer similar services? If you do, what do you think makes you different? Because many of them have a similar strategy towards targeting small startups that need these kinds of supports, and getting to the revenue part has not been an easy journey to grow.
Okay. While I do appreciate, we track about 150 different companies across the 3 sectors that we work in, which is supply chain, e-commerce, and omnichannel. Ecom-Dash does fall into that. We track, like I said, we track about 150 companies. Ecom-Dash is one of them. There are 3 ways to look at it. One is from a value proposition point of view, one is from a feature point of view, and one is, like you said, from a target customer point of view. Now, from a value proposition point of view, an Ecom-Dash is essentially a cost optimization solution where they're helping you manage your orders, inventory, pricing, payments. We are not. We are essentially a revenue optimization solution, which is where marketing, supply chain, AI, etc. comes into play. None of the existing platforms provide those. So you have distributed solutions that do focus on AI. You have distributed solutions like Amplitude that do focus on marketing. You don't have an integrated end-to-end approach. Nobody that does provide the same solutions that we do. That's the first way to look at it. From a feature point of view, obviously, Ecom-Dash is a channel aggregator like we are, but they don't have an integrated supply chain, AI, etc., which I already mentioned. Not going too detailed into it because that's not the real differentiation. The real competitive moat in our case is the fact that we have an end-to-end integrated approach, automated approach, product-led growth approach when it comes to small SMEs, as well as mid-market customers. So we have both sets of the users, kind of like what Shopify and Shopify Plus does. And as a result, because these sellers can come on the platform, they can use the platform automated, they can also scale automated. So there is no manual intervention, or there is very little manual intervention. That is why our revenues have scaled. We have 85% plus gross margins. And despite the COVID situation in India, where everything was locked down, you know it well, we still had 200 small to mid-sized businesses sign up, and we're using them end to end. And we've taken them to multiple countries. Revenues are growing very fast.
Thank you, Shayak.
Thank you so much. And the next question is from Kelly. Kelly, please.
Hi, Shayak. I have
Hello.
one question. How many paying customers do you have right now?
200 paying customers broken across 2 different streams, SaaS and commission.
Okay. So what are your go-to-market strategies then?
So in our kind of work, Google does not work well. Google works well in distributed data sets where customers are broken across multiple different areas. In our kind of work, customers are very concentrated and very specific. So what works well in the American market, for example, platforms like G2, Capterra, these are very targeted approaches. They work well. Another approach that works well is a content-driven approach, where we do a lot of learning management system, white papers, etc. That drives about 30% of our users. And the last is channel partnerships and referrals. These three are, they are very, very well optimized. Our channel mix, or what we call the marketing polynomial, driven through an end-to-end integrated marketing solution that we built in-house. That is what drives our users. The GTM is quite well optimized across multiple channels.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much. The next question is from Francois. Francois, please.
Yeah, hi. I'd like to know, do I have to register with your company only, and then you spread across all those platforms, or do I have to register with all the platforms and then you optimize? And my second question is your business local, or is it easy to internationalize?
Answer to question number one is you'll have to have your own accounts, because if I own the account, the risk is at my end and the reward is at my end. Then you become simply a vendor. You're not a merchant. You're not directly selling. That is not beneficial to you. The risk is that if you screw up the SOPs or the policies, then everybody else gets affected in my account as well. So no, we don't do that. That's an old school way of doing it. What we have is a distributed algorithm where you have your own account that gets integrated. Your data gets populated in your account in Eunimart, integrated with all your channel accounts on every other channel. The answer to your second question is it was built cross-border first and local second. So you can use our platform and optimize your supply chain, your delivery, your warehousing, your currencies, your workflows, and your distribution country by country, city by city, warehouse by warehouse, whatever way you want to do it. It's highly granular as well as highly global.
Okay. Thank you. And the question from Subrata, please.
Hi, thank you, Marina. Good presentation, Sayak. This is Subrata here. Just wanted to understand, how do you take care of unexpected panic buying behavior in this pandemic?
So essentially, the sale does not happen on our platform, right? What our platform takes care of is managing the entire backend. So we are a marketplace is both demand and supply. We are not a marketplace or a channel of sale like Shopify. We are a seller-side platform. So we integrate the entire ecosystem for the seller and act as a nucleus of that. Given that, if there's a panic buying situation, the system starts tracking those metrics. And then the seller starts getting some sort of indications that this kind of products are tracking up and these kind of products are tracking down. So beyond that, this is really not our area of work. So it doesn't really affect us that much, because the sale actually happens on Amazon or Shopify or somewhere else, not on our platform.
Got it. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. The last question is from Jim. Jim Simmons.
Yes. Shayak, nice presentation. Very interesting. I'm just curious. So I saw the chart against Shopify, wondering how long and how much money it would take for them to basically do the same functionality, and also how much capital ultimately would you need before you hit cash flow break even?
That's an amazing question, because Shopify is the jack in the box, right? They have all the solutions that we have and a lot more. They're an open ecosystem. Now, here's the point. Okay, I'll go a little granular. Hopefully that will help answer this. Shopify pioneered the entire open architecture in e-commerce. Okay, that entire headless architecture that came up was pioneered by Shopify. Headless has a serious limitation. It can only be used in orders inventory management. It cannot be integrated across retail, cannot be integrated across everything. So Shopify will need to re-architect its entire solution to do what we do. From a pure feature point of view, they've got everything we have and 10x more. That's not the competition. The pure system delivery that they do is basically headless. Headless allows you to have multiple stores and link them to one order inventory management system, pricing management system. What we are is a first of its kind where we are one step ahead of what Shopify does. Today, Shopify is trying to emulate a little bit of this by integrating with Google, with Facebook. And yes, they could potentially turn out to be that. I do see a small problem there that Shopify and Facebook are not really channels of sales. For them, that's a secondary buyer behavior, secondary business behavior. But an Amazon would see Shopify as a threat if they tried to do that. So from that point of view, we are a true blue integrator of sorts. So these are the two differences. One, the headless architecture has limitations. Shopify would need to re-architect it completely. And second, Shopify would face serious threats from existing players like Amazon, Alibaba, if they tried to integrate multiple channels, because they would see their data passing away to Shopify.
So yeah, thank you. Time is up, and I pass the floor to Mary again for announcing our third startup.
Thank you. And third for today will be Syte.bio, the winner of the Latin America battle. Please welcome Martin Williams.
Hello to everyone. How are you? Well, my name is Martin Williams. I'm the CEO and founder of Syte.bio. It's a biotechnology company. I'm a biotechnologist and bioentrepreneur finishing my PhD in genetic engineering. I'm an expert in proprietary DNA technologies and recipient of several awards. Well, Syte.bio is a DNA therapeutics startup with an interdisciplinary team of professionals, and we are pioneering the development of life-changing treatments for severe diseases, engineering DNA to treat and prevent diseases. Conventional therapeutics are based on recombinant proteins inactivated viruses or parts of them, and we base our therapeutics in DNA where all genetic information is stored. And as well, we envision that engineered DNA is the ultimate solution to prevent and correct disorders or infectious diseases. And we strongly believe that engineered DNA will be the future, the technology of the future. Our technology is based on linear DNA molecules, a novel genetic delivery vector for reducible applications that is safe, durable, and accessible for patients worldwide, and outperforms existing solutions. And as well, we use proprietary bioinformatic algorithms to retrieve and construct novel immunogenic sequences from proteins. There are some advantages on our technology that are the low cost and simple production method with a single step purification, and as well the storage and shipping conditions with more than 1 year at room temperature. We have developed a combined oncology approach for melanoma, head and neck cancer, and squamous cell carcinoma that we tested in monolayer cells and in vivo in canine and feline. We performed, as I mentioned, in vitro proof of concept assays with several tumoral and non-tumoral cell lines. And we saw that our treatment, our combined treatment, only killed the tumoral cells, leaving the non-tumoral cells alive. And after the in vitro assays, we made the in vivo case reports with canine and feline tumors, and with the squamous cell carcinoma, we saw that this aggressive and fast-growing tumor did not grow. And then with the melanoma and the transitional cell carcinoma, we achieved complete remission after 2 months of treatment. Our DNA platform is highly versatile. That's why we all tested in infectious diseases. We develop vaccine candidates for SARS-CoV-2 and for dengue, that is a disease, a very complicated mosquito-borne disease that is spreading all over the world. So we got great results from these assays too, and we are generating revenues from developments we are conducting with a veterinary company in Argentina. So this is the team. And these are the awards that we were given during 2017, 2018, and 2019. So thank you very much, and I'm open to the questions.
Thank you, Martin. Any questions?
Thank you.
Okay, Marisa, please.
Hi, what vector are you using?
We are using DNA linear vector, proprietary DNA linear vector. And we are filing the patent right now for that technology, and as well for the bioinformatic proprietary algorithm. So these linear DNA vectors outperform circular DNA as plasmids or monocircle DNA. And that's why we are using this type of molecules. And as well, this type of technology, these vectors allow us to create gene therapies that are durable along the time for genetic disorders, such as hemophilia or other genetic disorders as well.
Sounds great. Any more questions? Okay, I see that Gaurav, please.
You mentioned linear DNA, right? Compared to Inovio, company like Inovio, which is using plasmidic circulars.
Yeah,
correct.
Yeah.
What is the significant advantage that linear DNA has? Because Inovio seems to be doing well. They have been listed in the markets and they have been generating quite some revenues, right? And there have been no negative news about it. But what is it that linear DNA offers which plasmidic cannot?
Yeah. First of all, plasmidic DNA harbors genetic sequences from bacteria as antibiotic resistance genes, or origin of replications that are genes or parts of genes that can be passed to the gut microbiota or other microbiota in the body. So these linear DNA molecules are devoid of these sequences, these bacterial sequences, and as well, linear molecules are they enter the cell and the nucleus in a very rapid fashion when we compare it to plasmid DNA. So there are several advantages of using linear DNA molecules from circular, covalently closed circular ones. And as well, it has a built-in switch that prevents it from incorporating these genes into the host genome. And that does not happen with the plasmid DNA or circular DNA molecules, that they can be incorporated into the genome and cause mutations or as well develop cancer.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Question from Jim, please.
Yes, it sounds certainly fascinating, and not an expert in this, but one thing I do understand is that these sorts of technologies can take a lot of capital. I'm just wondering how much capital would ultimately be needed, at least in the U.S. Generally, getting through the FDA is a capital.
Yeah, I forgot to mention, we are incorporated I'm from Argentina, but we are incorporated as a C Corp in Delaware in the US. And it is almost the production system, the method for producing these DNA vectors is almost the same as producing plasmid DNA. So it's not much more expensive than producing DNA. And now we are requiring about 1.5 to 2 million to conduct full preclinical trials. FDI guided full preclinical trials, and with this data that we have from animals and in vitro assays, we are completely sure that this could be working in the near future for humans as well. But we are planning to produce these molecules for veterinary medicine first, because we use human genes that also works in animals. So with this type of technology going on in the market, within the veterinary market, it could allow us to get really good data and a great amount of data for preclinical trials before going to human clinical trials.
But I just 1.5 to 2 million. Ultimately, it just seems like a lot of these things take 100 million or more capital to get to cash flow.
Yeah, I know, but we are looking for that amount of money to conduct the preclinical trials. We have performed this proof of concept assays, and now we need to go to the full preclinical trials and clinical trials.
But my question is ultimate capital needed to get the cash flow break even, not just to get to a certain trial.
Yeah, we don't know that yet, but maybe $50 million to go to human clinical trials before going to the market. So it's almost the same as other technologies such as plasmid DNA or minicircle DNA. And the production system is not as expensive as maybe it sounds.
Okay.
It is producing bacteria. They need oxygen, water, and sugar. So it's quite simple process and low cost process.
Oh, thank you, Martin. Any more questions?
Thank you very much.
Yeah. Still have a bit of time.
Okay, and we are proceeding to our Silicon Valley winner, Sylvan Source, and please welcome Laura Demons. Laura, please unmute yourself.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, great. Hi, my name is Laura Demmons. I'm co-founder and CEO of Sylvan Source. We are thermal energy management experts. Let's see, we're having troubles with the screen, sorry. We are thermal energy management experts, and we've developed market disruptive industrial municipal wastewater treatment systems with cost structure improvements that are up to 50%. We've deployed 2 successful field pilot systems. We have 18 patents granted with 19 pending, and we've negotiated a successful letter of intent with an international customer. So most industrial processes result in contaminated wastewater. We're focusing on the cost to treat or dispose of contaminated water, the energy needed to treat this water, as well as system size and complexity. The Sylvan Source Core thermal water treatment system has fewer points of failure, and we're up to 4 times more energy efficient than the next closest thermal water treatment competitors. We're also 50 to 75% smaller in physical footprint than any competitor. Independent third-party experts have benchmarked us at 40 to 50% lower CapEx and OpEx compared to all competitors in all industrial applications benchmarked to date. Our multi-stage thermal evaporative water treatment system has a proprietary thermal transfer mechanism. We do not use conventional heat exchangers, which is what everyone else uses. And so our physics are completely different. It's this energy efficiency that drives the compelling CapEx and OpEx, and it also drives customer cost savings, potentially tens of millions per installation. We sell direct to customers, providing engineering services, equipment sales, and support services, and will negotiate customer contracts delivering 40% or higher gross margin. We're targeting a large and growing market, $20 billion a year. These are examples of market sectors that we're targeting. Right now, we are furthest along in the metals, chemicals, and refining space, but we've recently made excellent traction in mining and semiconductor sectors as well. This is an extract from a produced water benchmark from the oil fields. It's based on a 1 million gallon per day system. As you can see here, our CapEx is comfortably 40 to 50% lower than the next closest competitors. Our OpEx, however, we're doing even better than 50% lower than the next closest competitors. What this means is that the acquisition cost is 15 to 34 million lower, and the customer's operational costs over 20 years is going to be 60 to 115 million lower than what they would otherwise have to pay. Our core team has over 75 years combined experience in all the areas needed to execute to the plan. As you can see here in our forecast, we're targeting 284 million in revenues in year 4, with installations that start with 2 systems moving to 9 systems a year by year 4. So how do we achieve these kinds of numbers? Well, what happens is the customers start with pilot orders that are smaller in the range of 2 million, but they're not really interested in the pilots. What they're really interested in is systems that are 500,000 to 5 million gallon per day modules that range from 6 million to 104 million and also have higher absolute margins. Thank you for listening to me, and I hope you'll be interested in learning more.
Thank you very much. Any questions? I see Subrata, please.
Hi, Laura. Nice presentation.
Thank you.
Just wanted to understand a little more about your technology. You said you are not using heat exchangers. So what kind of equipment you're using there?
Yeah, so it's a different physics. It's a proprietary thermal transfer mechanism. We share the details of it under non-disclosure.
Got it. Can you give some flavor, regarding your technology? Not really, granular level, but
sure. Yeah. So about 50% of our system is based on conventional technology. So we would use standard off-the-shelf components. About 50% of the system has this proprietary transfer that is not, it's not heat exchangers. And yet the manufacturing processes are very similar. Also, the material science isn't terribly exotic, but it's a closed system. And what we're doing is we're transferring energy. We're not transferring liquids. We're not transferring gases and fluids. We're not transferring contaminants. We're just transferring energy really fast. And we don't need the same surface area as other systems. That's why our systems are between 50 and 75% smaller. We require a much smaller physical surface area to transfer the energy.
Okay, got it. So is it like radiation heating kind of thing?
No, but can't say without an NDA. I apologize. That's
Okay,
company
got it.
policy.
All
I
right,
wish I
thanks.
could. I wish I could.
Thanks, no problem, thanks.
Thank you very much. And Marisa, please.
What's your typical sales cycle?
It's a good question. I think that the sales cycle is quite a bit longer for the first systems. It's always hardest to get those initial deployments out. So I would say that sales cycle is in the range of a year. It could be as long as a couple of years for the first systems. We are seeing some traction now that looks like some of the semiconductor and mining companies might be a sales cycle that's closer to 9 months. Once we get going, we think we're going to see sales cycles that are anywhere from 6 months to a year. And with some partners, we might be able to make that go a little faster. I would also add that one of the customers that we're talking with thinks that there's potential for up to 300 deployments. So we're in discussions not only with the lead division that's going to deploy first, but we're in parallel discussions with other business units. And so after the first system rolls out, if it's successful, it'll be months or weeks when the other systems start to roll through with orders.
Okay, thank you. And Francois, please, your question.
Yeah, hi, Laura. I'd like to know, is the output, the water that goes out, is it drinkable? And are there other outputs like chemicals that I could sell? And the third question, if I may, is there a sweet spot for the size of the equipment? It's better big sizes or small sizes, or it doesn't matter?
It doesn't really matter. Those are all excellent questions. I'm going to start from the beginning, I hope. Our product water is generally between 1 and 10 parts per million. So in the pilot testing that we did with live water, contaminated water in the field, we were consistently 1 part per million. So we were cleaner than anybody else. And in other, I won't get into the details now, but in other tests, we've come out consistently cleaner than other waters. There's not a sweet spot, particularly for our systems, other than, you know, we're kind of targeting 100,000 to 5 million gallon per day modules that are specifically configured for the customers. And then you had a second question in the middle. Could you remind me what that was again, please?
Yeah, whether you output chemicals, residual chemicals that could be sellable.
Right, excellent point. Because we extract so much clean water and have such a concentrated waste stream, we're a really good fit for zero liquid discharge. One of the lead customers' primary applications for us is to recover calcium chloride. They're actually more interested in calcium chloride recovery at their chemical plant than they are in the clean water. The clean water is great, and it's great that it's 1 part per million because they get to reuse that. They can use that with their high pressure boilers. But surprisingly, this is a zero liquid discharge application, and they're more interested in the calcium chloride than they are in the clean water, even though we're water treatment, right?
Yeah. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you, Laura. Thank you.
Thank you.
Gaurav, please.
Hi, Laura. Laura, advanced oxidation process has been termed as the water treatment technology of the 21st century, right? What can you tell me about your technology in comparison with AOP that is widely used by some of your future competitors, which are global tech companies and water treatment?
Well, so far what we're seeing is AOP is both a lot more expensive and complicated in terms of the process. It doesn't cleanly remove all of the water, all of the contaminants. What we're seeing is that it's a good fit for post-treatment. So for instance, if we're looking at semiconductors, right? Semiconductors, they're treating huge amounts of water, but we're really talking about lab quality. So they need really, really clean water. I mean, when I talk about our getting down to 1 part per million, that's great, but they need small parts per billions. And so some of the AOP technologies could be a really good fit for that. The other thing I would say is that we're open to partnering with people on technologies, depending on what's needed in either pre or post treatment for our core application. Does that answer your question?
It does, Laura. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much, Laura. Time is up. Mary, please announce the next startup.
Thank you. The next startup is Privacy Optimization, our winner of the battle in Eastern Europe. Please welcome Simon.
Hello, thank you. You see the presentation?
Yes.
Perfect. So I go ahead. We all use social media and we all share our personal data with corporations. In fact, I just signed up for an online service where I had to share my name, date of birth, email, and much more. Why will all enjoy the fact that these services are free? When a service is free, then the product is you. In today's world, personal data is the new currency and its protection is our mission. I'm Simone, an experienced risk manager and compliance officer. I work for large banks like Euroclear and JP Morgan. And Alexandra, our co-founder, is a privacy lawyer and incident management expert supporting large corporations like Dentons and Wolters Kluwer. Clearly, there is a problem. Over 37 billion records were compromised in 2020, and a total of 270 million euros worth of fines have been issued under the GDPR. This can happen to any data-driven organization. But let's look at an example. Uber was fined $148 million for a hacker attack, which exposed 57 million customer data. Uber wrongly assessed the risk and took a year to report the breach, meaning a much higher fine and more people data at risk. While working with large corporate clients, we observe the problems that many companies are facing when data incidents happen. A complete lack of awareness of the GDPR obligations, fear of fines, no clear guidelines on how to define the risk level of an incident. Feeling the pain of clients, we started to wonder, how can we help organizations to respond to breaches better? That is exactly what the data breach management tool provides companies with. A clear process which avoids the use of Excel, eliminating people mistakes. Our solutions allows each employee to immediately report the discovered breach to its privacy team via notification feature. The notification is automatically logged in the repository analytics board. The privacy team then can investigate the incidents in detail, following the steps provided, and our tool will run the automated risk assessment based on our proprietary algorithm. The algorithm is our biggest added value, and we leverage cybersecurity rules, privacy regulators guidelines, as well precedent, which is absolutely unique on the market. As a result, within just a few seconds, you are provided with objective risk score, your reporting obligations, applicable laws, and the recommendations to improve compliance. By using our tool, you save time and money, have no stress, and improve loyalty and data governance. For a problem this big, of course, there is a market. A few basic tools are out there, but nothing that comprehensive. While this is an early growing market, all companies that handle large amounts of customer data, like healthcare, finance, e-commerce, or public organizations, are looking for a better solution. And that's exactly what we offer. Data protections accounts for nearly half of the 173 billion cybersecurity market. And with our SaaS subscription-based model, we are targeting at least 1% of this market. Our product has great traction for its age. We partner up with Dentons. We have 4 successful POCs, and 4 clients already enjoy our consulting. Next, we aim at further develop sales and marketing strategy, build partnership and distribution relationships, and raise a seed round. So if you're an investor, do not hesitate to get in touch with us. We believe that the major change in data breach management is necessary, and we are at the forefront of it, our data breach management tool. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And I already see the hand raised by Henry. Henry, please.
Yes, hi, thank you, Marina. Simon, Henry on here. So maybe can you share your thoughts? I think you mentioned, correct me if I'm wrong, I think you mentioned you have multiple clients for a few. Can you maybe, first question is share your thoughts, where would be the natural vertical of clients or any specific industry, whether it's finance or something that will have your natural interest for your product? That's number one. Number two is data breach has been on the forefront of things. If you look at the Chinese government's cracking down on quite a few of the tech giants in China. Very, very huge news. Obviously, that's a huge area for many companies around the world. Is there a way to prevent data breach? Thank you.
Thank you for the questions. So really good, actually. So our natural customer are all those large business to customer organizations. We look at the medium, large, and enterprise companies because are going to be the one leading the change in data breach management, especially financial organizations, healthcare, e-commerce, all those organizations, and also public administration, all those large organizations, medium, large, but with a lot of their customer data are our target. The persona of those organizations are the data privacy officer, privacy teams, at the limit InfoSec teams, or legal or compliance teams. We are ready at the moment for the GDPR all over the EU. Every company can work with us, and we can work with any organization that has clients in the EU. The next step is to go towards the US, Canada, and Asia. There are several different kind of laws, especially in the US. There is a high fragmentation, which gives even more opportunities for a solution like ours. Then the second questions was about the prevention.
The second question is simple. If you look at, there are a lot of data breaches, in particular US, obviously that's across the board. There are a lot of companies who haven't even announced they have data breaches.
Yes.
Simple. In your opinion, can these be prevented? If yes, how? Thank you.
I have, unfortunately, a negative questions, a negative answer, because I think it is not possible to avoid, but it's possible to minimize. And that's what we try to do with our product. So we are going to provide the recommendations to change and improve structurally the companies after a breach, in order to allow them to put in place all those improvements in order to minimize the possibility of the happening of a similar kind of breach in the future. And also another things we want to do is to educate and create awareness in order to, to avoid this kind of mistakes. But the problem is that the mistakes comes from three places. One is the human error, and that is unavoidable. People send wrong emails to wrong recipients with personal data. The second is, we can minimize that. The second one is the system glitches. Sometimes there are, emails sent to group of people that should not be sent, but this can be improved. And the third one is the hackers. And this is a business. And every time there is a new cybersecurity put in place, a product, they go there and they back engineer it. So the problem of, we are like a post-breach, and we are like a legal support to companies. We try to help them to avoid the loss of reputations, because the fine is the minimum problem. The bigger problem is the loss of reputations and the loss of customers, which are going to their competitors. So we try to help them, to educate them, to minimize the possibility of happening of these issues, in order to preserve their clients and their revenues at the end. So we are like a post-breach legal support to this company.
Thank you, Simon. Marina, I'll you back the floor. Thank you.
Thank you. And Sigal, Ralph wants to ask a question.
Simon, I heard you say you would target medium and large companies, right? Over there. What would be your client acquisition strategy? And here is the reason why I ask. Given the startup that you are, and where OneTrust, Inactia, and other companies have progressed, whether it is just the US or EU markets, it's not easy to acquire these medium and large customers for two reasons. One, the time taken to convince them and bring them on board is going to be quite high, even though if you have a solution that is technically proficient. And second is going to be the competition, right? OneTrust may have its own shares of pros and cons, but I think they're still doing well. What would be your client acquisition strategy? Will you go out to new customers, or will you try to acquire customers given the stage where you are that are already using competitors' products?
Yeah, so these are great questions. Thank you for that. OneTrust is in the market since a few years. They put in place solutions that at the beginning were not working really well, and certain companies already stopped using them. An example is Dentons, with whom we started working with.
No, but let's come to the client acquisition strategy, if you don't mind. How would you reach out as a startup to a medium and large company, which can always replicate your model with the technical team they need? What would be the client acquisition strategy to grow?
Yes, so of course we are going to concentrate on medium and large organization before going to the large one, especially for the long sales cycle. We are going to also use, we are now building the part that is the weakest for our startups, because our product is ready since 1 month, more or less. So we are going to build a sales and marketing team that is going to help us for the direct sales. But one of the most important, we will be like working with the other large law firms and distribution channels, like we are doing with Dentons. We are trying to now to discuss. I was in discussion with Allen Overy, and we are in discussion with Bird & Bird, and this will be the best way to get large clients. And it is going to also accelerate the sales cycle. But of course, the competition is out there. They are not at our level of development, and we hope that with the next steps that we are going to do towards machine learning, in order to add to the reg tech part of our product, a legal tech part, we are going to be ahead of them for at least a couple of years, giving us the time and for raising assets, raising money, and put in place a large team to be able to compete against them.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Time is up. Mary, please announce the next one.
Thank you.
Here we have Grozik Vetter of today's event, and we are moving to Syte.bio Innovations, our winner of the battle in North America. Please welcome Carolina.
Hello, everyone. My name is Dr. Carolina Valente, and I'm the CEO of Syte.bio Innovation. And we are developing innovative solutions for the pharmaceutical industry and the field of oncology research. Did you know the last year alone, more than 10 million people died from cancer? That's about 27,000 people dying every day. With such a devastating disease, you would expect to have the appropriate drugs to treat it. And the problem is the drug development process, the process used by pharmaceutical companies to develop new drugs that result in more than 95% of the drugs failing to get to the market. And this high failure rate happens because models used to test these drugs in the lab are too simplistic. So when these drugs are tested in people, the results don't match, and the translation is actually less than 8%. But Voxel has the solution. At Voxel, we are 3D bioprinting cancer tissue models so pharmaceutical companies can test their drug candidates, creating more consistent results and allowing drugs to hit the market sooner. We are the first company in the world coupling a high-resolution bioprinter that we have assembled with a vasculature generation software. This software is our trade secret, our secret sauce, and allows us to print tissue models with blood vessels, truly mimicking the human body. We offer two core products. First, vascularized tissue models as a service, and second, our printer coupled with our software, allowing users to print the same tissue models in just one click. And the market opportunity is massive. The drug discovery market is expected to reach $110 billion by 2025, with North America responsible for 30%. So capture 1% of the North America segment could lead to a $300 million revenue. Our customers will range from academia all the way to pharmaceutical companies. We believe that academia and small research centers will be focusing on ordering the tissue models as a service, while the pharmaceutical companies will be focusing on ordering the printer as a tool to have in the lab and print as many tissue models as they want. We'll hit the market with our tissue models next year, and that will allow us to have recurring revenue while we continue development of our hardware and software to hit the market in 2023. And of course, we do have competition. And even though our competitors have been quite good at what they do, none of them have solved the issue of creating truly biomimetic human tissue models. And that's the meaningful gap that Voxel is targeting. Our revenue projection is expected to reach $36 million by 2026. And this has only been possible having an amazing team with extensive experience in tissue engineering, bioprinting, business operations, and manufacturing. And the vision that I have for this company is quite simple. It's to become the gold standard for cancer tissue models using bioprinting technology. But our mission is the most important part. We want to accelerate life-saving therapies, getting to the market sooner and to the hands of people that need it. Thank you very much.
Carolina, thank you. Any questions, please? Hi, Jim.
Hi, Carolina. It sounds a great presentation and certainly a very important issue. The Schrödinger equation from quantum mechanics has only been solved for 7 to 100 atoms. And I think here you're talking about, many atoms. Even with quantum computers, it might take, 5, 10, 15 years to be able to solve that. So I would think that the failure rate for anybody trying to solve this very important problem is going to be high.
Yeah, so the way that we are tackling this problem, and with the fact that pharmaceutical companies, they actually do these tests in tissue models, in cells, and so on. So they are actually performing this test. It's not computational tests. And what we are providing to them is just a better platform, a more reliable platform to make this test. And this more reliable platform is basically very similar to a small sample of your tissue that is fully vascularized. So if you think about all the drugs, most of them, especially for cancer, they are injected in the patient, especially chemotherapy and hormonal therapy and so on. So what we are allowing pharmaceutical companies is to test in a small sample of tissue that has blood vessels, that will allow to get much closer results. So when they get to clinical trials in people, the results are more consistent, and that is less ability to fail.
Thank you. Another question from Alexander, please.
What do you expect will be your final revenue? I mean, maybe in 10 years. Oh.
From now, yeah. So I think once we get the printer going to the market, as I said, the revenue projection 2026 is a big part from the tissue molds as consumer, but also as the printer. And once we establish ourselves, we just keep growing. So I believe we have a lot of potential to get to hundreds of to the $100 million revenue in 10 years. And then our idea is originally to start with cancer, but later on to expand to neuro diseases too, such as Alzheimer's. So
you want to go to other markets, yeah? I mean,
absolutely. Other disease marketing, establish ourselves with cancer first, and then going and reaching other markets later on.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Alexander.
Any more questions? Okay, thank you. And then thank you very much, Carolina. Mary, please, the next one.
Okay, then we are proceeding to our Southeast Asia and Oceania winner. Please welcome Abivin startup, Frank Vu. Please.
Hello.
Hello.
Okay, so can I get started now?
Yeah.
Okay. Hello, everyone. I am Chang Wu, the External Relation Manager of Abivin, an AI-powered logistic optimization platform. So talking about logistic operation in the ASEAN market, it is helpful to see many pressing problems. Firstly, many companies still rely on human experience to make logistic plans manually, which leads to unoptimized delivery plans. Secondly, due to inefficient plannings, they record very high operating costs. And finally, many companies lack visibility over their supply chain operation. So understanding these pain points, Abivin built an AI-powered logistic optimization platform called Abivin Virut. The platform consists of two parts, the web app for managers and mobile app for drivers, with four main features: delivery route optimization, 3D loading optimization, transportation management, and intelligent dashboard. However, the key component that set us apart from others is our proprietary optimization algorithms, which can assist people in making complex planning decisions automatically. And one of the algorithms that we are most confident is the one that's solving the vehicle routing problems. Everyday transport planners is to really struggle to solve the VRP, which is to create the optimal delivery plans for thousands of delivery points among different vehicles and constraints. While other tools usually are limited to around 10 constraints, we are able to solve more than 30 constraints at the same time. Our service is used by 5 key players of the supply chain: carriers, ports, manufacturers, distributors, retailers, and transporters. Today, we are delivering success for multinational companies across Southeast Asia and the leading enterprises in Vietnam like DHL, the biggest third-party logistic company in the world, or Panasonic and P&G. Targeting the Southeast Asia market, we noticed that Southeast Asia is very potential and mostly untapped, with the serviceable addressable market of nearly $22.5 billion. And through 5 years of working closely in 6 different countries, including Vietnam, Myanmar, Singapore, Indonesia, Japan, and recently the Philippines, Our platform is processing more than 75,000 container shipments and 300,000 delivery orders per month. And the freight traffic volume processed by Abivin route is 1.3 billion kilometers per year, which is equivalent to 1% of the total freight traffic volume of Vietnam. Our business models is enterprise SaaS, where we charge professional service fees and ongoing subscription fees. Behind the scenes, our founding team includes alumni from Cambridge and Google, bringing in a strong technical background combined with experience in enterprise software business development. Now we are backed by government-funded innovation programs and global VCs from Vietnam, South Korea, and the US. And at the moment, we are raising funds for series with $5 million to accelerate our growth in the futures. Thank you so much for listening.
Thank you so much. I see the question from Henry already.
And let me introduce our CEO of Abivin, Mr. Long Pham, who will support me in this Q&A session.
Thank you.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for having me.
Henry, please.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Marina. Henry An here. Hi, guys. Terrific presentation. Just curious, when I look at your traction, it seems like you're getting very good traction. Maybe you can show the slide for everyone. I think it's called Growing Logistics Optimization through our platform. Now, putting into more dollar terms, can you share with us maybe revenue for 2020 and ARR, just very high level numbers?
Yeah, so finishing 2020, we achieved 260,000 for 2020 in total of revenue. The ARR was about 80,000, and right now for the ARR, after 6 months of the year, we already achieved about 200,000, which is about 3 times the number of 2020, and we are on the right track to achieve the 400,000 K of ARR by the end of this year.
Got it. So your ARR last year was like around roughly 82,000, right? Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, got it. Okay, that's very helpful. Maybe break it down just a little bit further. Can you maybe share unit economics? What will be per customer? I know you have 45 plus enterprise accounts. And then I think after that, I think there was another unit that you measure your revenue. Maybe can you share high level unit economics, how much you charge per client and how do you break it down? Just very, very high level. Thank you.
Yeah, okay. So we have 2 unit economics here. One is, they are both for the subscription. We charge for users when the customer are using our management features, and we charge for per order by the number of orders or by ton kilometers. So the price per user is about from 10 to 30 US dollars per user, and the price per order is about 0.1 to up to $10 per order per for each order. The reason why there are different of the price range is because in each of the different segments, the value of the order is different, and we have to charge differently for each segment.
Got it. So, and let me just make sure I understand this. The subscription model on the right-hand side, bottom right-hand side, per user. Let's say if you charge per user, do you charge per order for that same client, or do you just either or? Just curious.
At the beginning, we was doing either or. However, in the future, we are going to charge the plus. So we charging both of them. The reason for it is that the customer has to have to maximize the management features so that they will utilize these features for all of the users first. And then after that, when they are achieving the stable in management, which is digitizing their data, their process and the reports, then they will be more suitable to increasing their productivity using our optimization feature, which is more proportional to the orders.
So essentially, you charging them per user now. In the future, you're going to have a subscription per user plus volume-based per order, right? Is that the way to think about it?
Exactly.
Very helpful. Thank you. I yield back the floor, Marina. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much. And Subrata, please, your question is next.
Yeah, hi, great presentation. Couldn't have been better. I think you talked about your optimization problem and how it sort of acts as a key differentiator, right? So can you sort of elaborate a little on that?
Can you?
Is it like your traveling salesman problem that you have tweaked, or is something like ground up completely?
Right. You are right. The correct name of the problem is vehicle routing problem. This is a more difficult problem than the traveling salesman. It is where you have a fleet. Let's say you have 1,000 delivery points, and you have 50 vehicles. So our algorithms in a few seconds or minutes will generate an optimal routing plans so that all of the delivery points or orders will assign to each of the vehicles. And the plan is optimal in the way that we're doing better than the human planner. For example, the human planner would do with 50 vehicles, but about 42 or 43 vehicles. And on the other part that Chang was said is that we're satisfying more than 30, 40 different constraints, like the load capacity of the vehicle, the time windows of the customer, or the temperature type of the products.
Got it. So just one more observation here. Can you sort of tie your key value proposition into carbon footprint that you guys are potentially reducing?
So can I understand your question? Is that is our solution is reducing the carbon footprint?
Yeah, because you are increasing productivity, you are sort of reducing the traveling time, right?
Yeah, I would say that we do reduce the carbon footprint because we reduce the number of vehicles we have to use. So in this way, the productivity of the vehicles are fully utilized. The productivity of the drivers are also fully recognized. And for that reason, the number of vehicles you have to use would be much more optimal. The way that the vehicle have to going around, they are also usually optimized in the way as the shortest path, so that you don't have to go cutting yourself and taking a longer route.
Great, thanks.
Thank you. And the last question is from Gaurav, please.
Hi, I have a question. So, having an enterprise model that's ready, that's competitive, that's proficient is a good thing, right? But since you're looking at Series A funding and looking at your competitors, right? Loginext has generated about $40 million in revenue, 35. Locus has raised $40 million. And both of these have similar, if not better, services, features that are very competitive, plus the fact that they have market penetration that helps them grow. I think in your particular case, I would love to learn with 75,000 shipping containers or transactions and nearly $200,000 in revenue, clearly the big hurdle here is going to be how do you justify growth and compete with the competitors. Could you tell me a bit about if you get the capital that you are looking about $5 million, how and where will the growth come from? I think it has to go outside Vietnam, right? So can you focus on the client acquisition and business development strategy?
Thank you for your question, Gaurav. There are two parts of your question. First of all, I would like to compare our technology with Locus or Loginext in terms of the number of constraints that we are solving for the vehicle routing. That I'm confident that we having a lot more constraint than Locus. This has been proven that we do win some deals in Indonesia with one of the PNG distributors. That they have been using Locus first, and then they decided not to using them, and then switching to us. We haven't seen any competition with Loginext yet, but I believe that they are more focusing on the Indian market. So talking about the go-to-market or the business development strategy, what we are focusing now is the B2B's SaaS, software as a service. So we're building a sales team about from 6 to 8 people that specializing in acquiring the leads, closing the deals, onboarding, and
within Vietnam or outside Vietnam?
We're having 2 sales teams at the moment. So one is in Hanoi and one is in Ho Chi Minh City. And with this formula, we are confident that we can increase into other market when hiring 6 to 8 salespeople, especially in Singapore or Indonesia. These are the 2 markets that are biggest outside of Vietnam. So right now, Vietnam is contributing for about 50% of our revenue shares. We have 20% from Singapore, 20% from Indonesia, and the rest are from Japan, Myanmar, and the Philippines.
Thank you.
Yeah. Hey, Long, can I say something? This is Gary.
Yes, please.
Yeah, so I know a little bit about this space. So, you know, I was on the original team of Click Software. That's a company, a service chain optimization company that sold to Salesforce for $1 billion plus. So I know a little bit about it. You know, I don't want to get into a long conversation now, but we should talk. This is it's very interesting for me, and applying these optimization algorithms and this kind of a model is interesting. What I like is a global perspective and not just Vietnam. It's not so interesting if it's just a Vietnamese or Asian perspective. It's about how can you dominate the world. If you want to get that kind of funding and get the right valuation, you got to have a global outlook, right?
Yes. Yeah. Thank you for your recommendation. Yeah, indeed. That as we said, we have presence in 6 different countries now, 5 in Southeast Asia and in Japan. So the number of constraints, the reason why we have a high number of constraints is that we started in Vietnam. Vietnam is not like a very big country, but we have rivers, we have coastal, and we have mountains. So we can experiment with the constraint first in Vietnam, and then with that, we're already solving 80% of the traffic or geographical issues with the algorithms. And when we bring to other countries, we just need to adding a little bit of 20%.
Got it. Okay, thanks.
Thank you very much. Time is up. I'm sorry, Jim, I see your question, but please proceed in the chat. Mary, we have 3 startups left for today, right?
Yes, yes, you're right. And now please welcome SteadySense is our winner in Western Europe battle. Please, Natalia, welcome.
Welcome. Hi. Okay, do you guys see my screen? Yeah. Yeah, okay. So firstly, welcome again, and thank you for giving us this opportunity and the platform to present our product. My name is Natalia, and I'm representing SteadySense, a biomedical engineering company based in Graz in Austria. I'm going to begin my pitch with a very personal question for all women present. But don't worry, I don't expect an answer. How many of you know exactly when you ovulate? And a little spoiler, it may not be the day 14 of your cycle like we learn in school. The reason I ask is because studies have shown that many women aren't aware of this basic information about their own body. And knowing when you ovulate can be crucial when it comes to planning or preventing a pregnancy. Our first brand, FemSense, is an ovulation detection system which can not only predict but measure and confirms ovulation. But let's start at the beginning. So this is our product. And what you can see may look like a normal plaster, and a little spoiler again, it is not. The magic is on the inside. Within the patch is a very precise temperature sensor, which when activated measures body temperature 24/7 up to 7 days. And the most important thing is this gives us continuous temperature measurement and temperature curves rather than just single and momentary readings. The patch is worn under the arm from where it measures the user's temperature continuously day and night. The temperature readings are stored on the patch until they are accessed using NFC, for example, a smartphone. So the first product we brought on the market was FemSense, an ovulation detection system based on the well-known temperature method used by generations of women to plan or even prevent a pregnancy. And the science behind this temperature method is solid. but up until now, it has been very time consuming and difficult to use. So FemSense takes all the hard work out of it, doing the measuring, the charting, and the interpreting. And our next product for which we just have got our medical certification is SteadyTemp, a smart thermometer. SteadyTemp is different to other thermometers in that not only it is very precise, but again, we have this continuous temperature measurement and curves. So with SteadyTemp, we not only have the information on how you feel right now, but how was your temperature during the night? Did you have fever then? So SteadyTemp can be used as a detection of infection, as a diagnostic tool, or as we saw on Corona, protection of the workforce. And look into the future. Temperature curves can be very important as diagnostic tool. And I don't know if you knew, but each individual disease has its own temperature curve. So our system can help to identify diseases faster based on that curve. And our journey so far has given us a huge information about women's cycles, which we hope to analyze soon for the benefit of women around the world. And we hope that some of you might join us on this continued journey to the full potential of continuous measurement. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Natalia. Any questions, please? Okay, team, hi. You're welcome. We don't hear you a moment. Okay.
I'll just make a quick comment, Henry here. So if there's any men ask any questions here, I would like to know who they are. So, you know, I'm certainly not good at these kind of things, so I'll just stay behind the scene, but great presentation there.
Thank you.
Thank you, Henry. Jim?
Yes, Natalia, very good, you know, an interesting problem that's undoubtedly very important, you know, very important, and a really nice solution. Just curious, some of the financials, how much you'd be raising, how much ultimate capital is needed, what your year 5 revenue might be. Be curious about that.
Okay, so when we brought FemSense to the market, it was only for women who wanted to get pregnant, right? We have developed the system, and we have just made a big update on the app and on the system, so it can be used for as a fertility tracker or as a cycle tracker like any other. But our USP is that we have the patch, which not only predict but really confirms ovulation, right? We had revenue up to the second lockdown, about 30 to 40 thousand euros per month. Yeah, and we are now looking for distributors, for partners. So right now we were selling only via our own online shop, and now we're growing.
But I'm wondering how much money you're raising with your, I assume you're raising money now. How much money are you raising, and how much capital ultimately will you need to get to cash flow break even?
Okay, actually, this is something I would like to talk about maybe offline, if you're not mad.
Because of our restrictions. Thank you.
These are the restrictions, so I'm just following these ones. Yeah, please excuse this, but I can tell that the market is very big. So for SteadyTemp, either it is in the medical environment or in the home application, it's a really big market.
Okay, but can you say how much ultimate capital you'll need? That doesn't talk about how much you're raising. That's basically a 5-year projected income statement.
I'm not allowed to.
Yeah, but you can say about the stage. The stage is Syte stage, right?
Yeah. So for FemSense, I just told for SteadyTemp, we just got the medical certification, just like a month ago. Yeah. So cannot tell anything.
Thank you. And I see Francois. Francois is raising his hand.
I'm happy to answer these questions when you get back to me later.
Hi, I understand. I'm obviously I know nothing about you know, the cycles, but I imagine that to have this patch continuously on you is okay if you're in a hospital, and so my temperature would be being monitored, but maybe for a woman, she's going to use it a month or two when she knows exactly how the profile of her cycle is. Is it something that people are going to use all the time? It looks, I mean, I would rather have maybe an Apple Watch and monitoring that without the inconvenience of the patch. Do you have any sense? Did you check that? Did you test that? And do you have anything to share with us about this?
Of course, the day of the ovulation in a women's cycle is not always day 14 or day 16. And when our system measures, for example, day 16, day 14 can be measured in the next cycle. So it is not every time the same, right? And not every woman has a cycle of 28 days, for example. And we are constantly measuring each cycle again. And that's why the system works.
But you have to use the patch all month long?
No. It is for single use, and you stick the patch for maximum 7 days in the cycle. So when the fertile phase starts, you just stick the patch. The app informs you about, reminds you for read out the patch twice a day, and as soon as ovulation has been detected, you can remove the patch. So our users are wearing the patch, the FemSense patch, for up to 7 days maximum, and SteadyTemp is the same. So SteadyTemp is a medical device class 1M, and it can be worn for up to 7 days, and then we change because it's much more hygienic. I would like to add, for example, the medical environment. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Another question from Subrata, please.
Hi, Natalia. Very interesting problem that you're solving. I'm interested to know what's the defensibility of your business. Why can't somebody else sort of, manufacture these NFC-based devices very easily and sort of disrupt your business, take the party away from you?
Okay, the barrier is very high. So to cope with the chip would cost at least $5 million. And to develop the chip takes some 3 years and 1 to 2 years more to develop the entire system. We know that there are competitors, but they are not, as far as I know, they are not working with the NFC technology. They are all using Bluetooth. And these are not for single use, so not for the medical environment.
Got it, thanks.
Thank you so much, Natalia. And the next startup, Mary, please.
Thank you. And the next startup is our winner in Best Speech nomination. Please welcome Remedium Bio. Alex, please.
Thank you very much. Let me know when you can see my screen.
Yeah, we can see your screen. Yes.
Excellent, thank you. Remedium is a Boston area gene therapy company founded on the principle that any disease can be cured with novel combinations of proven technologies, and our lead candidate is an example of this. Osteoarthritis is a degenerative disease characterized by cartilage loss and debilitating pain, affecting 300 million people worldwide. Demographic and lifestyle factors drive a $38 billion market with a 9% CAGR. Sadly, today, there's no single approved treatment capable of reversing cartilage loss in OA. All current options are palliative, managing only symptoms such as pain. As a result, in the US and EU alone, over 3 million costly joint replacement surgeries are performed every year. The sizable market has attracted significant investment. More than 12 different therapeutic classes were investigated, only one yielding positive results in controlled randomized clinical trials. FGF18 protein. Recent data from a 500-patient placebo-controlled multi-center trial showed that FGF18 is capable of increasing cartilage thickness in a dose-dependent manner, while the placebo resulted in expected cartilage loss. The only challenge with this treatment is it requires up to 12 injections into the joints per year of bilateral treatment. Furthermore, if the injections are discontinued, cartilage loss resumes. So this treatment must be sustained indefinitely to maintain benefit. The reason for this is simple. Cartilage has no blood supply, so bioavailability of oral meds is low. Local injections are preferred. However, the fluid dynamics of the joint wash out the drugs within hours to days. The ideal solution requires a therapeutic that works and sustained local delivery. This is what Remedium Bio has done with this lead candidate. We use a clinically proven vector to transport genetic instructions for FGF18 into the cells, enabling local production of the optimal dose. This makes our lead candidate the only single injection product potentially capable of regenerating cartilage in OA based on a clinically proven mechanism. With over 50 years combined OA experience, over 15 rheumatology products brought to market, we have a proven track record taking companies from a cap of 6 million to 1 billion. We were only founded in 2020, but already made significant progress, having raised our seed, secured IP, onboarded KOLs, and developed the prototype. We recently attracted the attention of a leading OA lab, which will support our preclinical proof of concept, enabling a transformational Series A in early 22. With significant interest in expanding your seed, we are now securing capital to complete POC studies towards a targeted exit in 24. Thank you all for your time and the opportunity to present Remedium Bio. Looking forward to your questions. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Alex. Any questions, please? I see Marisa. Marisa.
Hi. So this just reduces the cartilage loss. It doesn't produce cartilage. Is that correct?
This is the first treatment that has ever demonstrated in randomized controlled, placebo-controlled clinical trials to increase cartilage thickness at a highest dose. So what you see here is an increase in cartilage treatment. The placebo, as expected over 2 years, osteoarthritis is a disease that's only stopped by two things, by knee replacement surgery or death. So it's a one-way road to reduction of cartilage. So placebo is decreasing in thickness, highest dose is actually increasing in thickness. It's a landmark trial that was recently published, 549 patient phase 2.
Thank you very much. There's a question from Alexander also. Alexander, please.
Yes, thank you. Who were your investors in the previous round?
Yeah, great question. So we've raised 1.2 million to date. The individuals who are invested are the management team. We are all seasoned executives, so we put in our own money, 1.2 million. We believe that this technology is going to work and it's going to be highly successful, mainly because it's clinically proven. We have additional interest from our former colleagues who are all also osteoarthritis, former executives. So far it's been a tight-knit circle of, let's call it, osteoarthritis executives.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you. I see Jim is asking a question.
Yes, sounds powerful. Not an expert in this. Are you saying that is the idea that this FGF18, that instead of all these local injections, you have this vector that generates the FGF18? I thought they were separate. Were you saying it's the same thing? Is that right?
Precisely. So you hit the nail on the head. Right now, the technology is continuously inject the protein. And that's a technology that is currently in the clinic phase 2 trial. It will work, but it requires up to 12 injections per year, and it needs to be injected every year or you get cartilage loss. What we're doing is we're delivering the genetic instructions for FGF18, so the cells produce the protein. The cells produce the protein locally, gain the same effect, but it's 1 injection per joint.
Okay, yeah, that sounds powerful. Now, some of these things take a long time and a lot of money. Do you have a projected income statement showing how much ultimate capital would be needed before to get to cash flow break even?
Great question. Great question. So many of the biotech companies that you'll see today exit their seed and Series A investors at the preclinical or early clinical stage. We do have a budget that takes us all the way through to approval, but our aim is to exit our seed and Series A investors preclinically. We're targeting 2024 to be able to do that. In order to get to that stage, we believe that we need the completion of this expanded seed, which is going to be 2 to 3 million, some of which we already secured, and the single Series A raise, which we anticipate will be about 25 million. So there's going to be one dilution to the existing investor round that we anticipate. After that one dilution, we're planning to give investors an opportunity to exit.
Okay, and then I guess your budget to go all the way would be much more, but you're saying with the 3 plus 25, you can exit at the preclinical. Is that the idea?
Correct, that's our plan. So just to give you a few examples, Sana Biotechnology exited by IPO at a $9 billion market cap. They're at least a year away from clinical trials. Vertex was acquired, Sema Therapeutics was acquired by Vertex for $1 billion. They were at least a year, likely 2 years away from their clinical trial. Unity, an osteoarthritis company, went with an IPO, and this is 2018. So these are old valuations, nearly $1 billion. So many biotech companies are exiting very, very early in this space. And we believe that we can do that because our modus operandum is essentially combining proven technologies in novel modular ways. So we have an FGF18 protein that's being tested and shown to produce a cartilage gain in placebo-controlled randomized trials, 3 doses, dose-dependent manner, in 500 plus patients. We're using an AAV2 serotype vector, 67 clinical trials, and of course, DNA with the COVID vaccines. We're approaching 1 billion doses of DNA in COVID vaccines now that they've essentially proven that concept.
But you know, the biotech market is very hot right now. I mean, in a couple of years, it might be more realistic. But anyway, thanks for answering the question. It does sound powerful.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Thank you very much. Any more questions? Still have a bit of time. Okay, Gaurav, please.
Between now and your clinical trials, what could be the perceived risk that could hurt the success of this product or injection?
Yeah, great question. So usually a typical biotech project, what you'll see is it's an investment that comes out from a university that had an SBIR grant. They published 2 or 3 papers on a few cell assays. 9 out of 10 times, those cell assays don't translate into the clinic because the mechanism of action is not proven. They believe that they're going after a target that works, it works in cells, it works in animals, but it doesn't work in the clinic. In this case, we have a proven mechanism and a proven target. We're using preclinical models, in vitro, ex vivo, and in vivo, that have shown direct translation into clinical results and have been confirmed in large randomized clinical trials. So the main elements of risk that you see here that you would normally encounter in a biotech company are removed. Essentially, this project is more of an engineering execution project. And this is something that the team, both Frank and I, the 2 founders, have done over and over at companies like Biogen, Regeneron, and Allergan, and most recently at a company that's focused on osteoarthritis, Anika, which has partnerships with Johnson & Johnson to distribute world-class products. So essentially, the main risk is execution risk, and we believe that that's managed to potentially securing larger capital raises, but we don't believe that there's major science or technological risk left within this project.
Aren't so many FDA trials also have had similar hopes of success, but eventually very few small percentage succeed with the FDA approvals, right? They also have similar hopes on technological innovations, right?
Correct. This is a pre-negotiated endpoint with the FDA. So the company that's currently taking this through phase 2B has a pre-negotiated cartilage thickness endpoint. And the FDA recognizes that this is substantial market need. There's been little innovation in osteoarthritis over the last decade. All the treatments are only managing pain. And essentially the pain management treatments, some of them have their own side effects. Some of them are opiates. Some of them are steroids, which can degrade cartilage. So the FDA is very hungry for a product that is a disease-modifying product. And we believe that given that the clinical data is already there, 500 patient, controlled, randomized, placebo-controlled clinical trial, we believe that the FDA will be very supportive of this technology.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
For your questions.
We have, very much, Alex. We have the last startup for today. Mary, please.
Yes, the last but not least, please welcome SpeedSize. It's a winner of Judge's Choice nomination. Please, Sajid, your word.
Hello, everybody. Do you see my screen?
Yeah, we see it.
Okay, so happy to present you SpeedSize. I'm the CEO, and very excited. SpeedSize is the most advanced technology in the world today for media optimization and delivery for the internet. We focus on enterprise e-commerce, speaking with companies like Shopify and many others. And what you're going to see here will look to you as a little bit as a science fiction, because it's a new technology that disrupt all this market, which has been the same for the last 30 years. It was developed by scientists and doctors who have medicine in this technology, and we actually emulate how the human brain understands visual content of images and videos. The easiest way to show you is on apple.com, when we can download, we work with Apple in Israel, and we can download all their images and accelerate their media loading speed by more than 3,000%, which is very dramatic, by making already compressed Apple images down to 2 to 3 kilobytes, keeping the same quality, 99% smaller. And of course, Google loves those performance. We can reduce loading speed, increase SEO, reduce bounce rate, increase sales for e-commerce. So SEO is a great value, speed is a great value, and of course, sales, when you can start using 4K images or videos, in our case, our videos will be smaller than images. Imagine what it can do to the e-commerce industry or to the whole internet, where today all internet images and videos are compressed the wrong way. So the easiest way to show this is on the biggest market leader, which is Akamai. Akamai is a $20 billion company. And this case study was conducted for the biggest electronic provider in the world. And you can see that we provide the original quality of images, zero quality loss for the human brain, but our files are 99% smaller than the bigger competitor that dominates the market. So we actually know everything about the image. We don't use any preset to compress billion different images. We deeply AI analyze each image individually and video, and illustrate how the human brain will understand this visual content. We detect humans, body parts, text, colors, and many other stuff, eventually making images smaller than by 99%. Across all formats with 1 minute integration. So the market is huge. We can speak about the CDN, which is a $20 billion market, or the internet e-commerce, thanks to the COVID. It's a multi-trillion-dollar market. And if we can improve it by 10 to 5%, this is a unicorn already. So we started our sales 3 months ago, and we already reached the $500,000 ARR, and we are aiming to reach more than 1 million by the end of this year, about 70 million in the next year, and after it, we will reach the valuation of a unicorn. So very experienced team made of doctors, scientists, and a huge endless market. Happy to answer your question, and thank you for your time.
Sagi, thank you so much. Any questions, please? Okay, Marisa, please.
So what you do that's unique is you put the images into the correct optimization. Is that right? So they're not over optimized and they're not under optimized to increase the speed, the download.
Correct.
Yes.
The question is, what is correct? Correct to the end viewer, to the human brain. All other technology actually gets quality by using some presets. Let's say Akamai, Shopify, or any other website, they just reduce the quality by 85% for all the images across the world, which is wrong. You cannot compress with one preset even 2 different pixels, because those pixels are different. So we actually know everything about the image, and we know how the human brain will understand this visual content. The images that you see right now are not being rendered on your screen, they are being rendered inside your brain. And if we can hide all the invisible information and save, let's say, 90% of all the delivery on the internet, this is crazy. Imagine what it can do to the data centers or to the bandwidth of the internet. Thank you.
Thank you. I see Francois raises the hand. Francois.
Yeah, hi. Very, very interesting. I just had a conversation about Akamai yesterday with a gentleman here in Brazil, and I feel you might be complementary because Akamai does CDN management. So if I still can have a CDN, which will be over boosted by your solution, still you present yourselves as competitors. So could you, aren't you the future of Akamai rather than a competitor?
Yeah, kind of. So any Akamai client actually, after doing a POC, become our client. It's a very 1 minute POC. We even deliver the files in a different way. We do not do real-time compression and delivery, which is the wrong way to do stuff. Real-time compression, it's a lie because every compression takes time, if it's a few milliseconds. We do personally individual delivery for each browser and device, screen resolution, and many, many more. With a CDN, by default, we work with AWS CloudFront as HCDN, but actually we can be part of any CDN as a proxy. So we can be integrated in 1 minute into Akamai, Fastly, or any other CDN. We're a CDN enabler, and we do like 50 resolutions across 6-8 different formats. We're the only company in the world that support formats like AVIF or AV1, which is the newest Google formats. And we're the only ones that do it. For companies like Akamai, it will take a decade to support those formats due to the lack of Intel support of the hardware.
So you're telling that, in fact, your part is harder and you could very well substitute the CDN management part of Akamai and have a whole product much better at the end.
Yeah, we can work side by side to Akamai or replace them.
Okay.
It depends on the client needs. Thank you for your great question.
Very interesting.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. And Subrata, your question, please.
Yeah, hi, great stuff. Interested to know what are the markets that you are catering to currently?
So listen, we started sales like 4 months ago with our 1 minute integration, which is like super easy to integrate 1 minute. And we're already been integrated into Tata in India, clients like Chroma, which love us, Brazil leading customers like UL, United States, UK, Russia, Israel, many, many countries. So we're going global. And actually each door we open and do a POC will become our client by statistics. Because if the organization are ROI driven only, and they do not care fire like huge amount of people because we do everything on automation, usually we win deals.
Yeah, it sounds like, in emerging economies where internet speed is limited, right? Still 2G, 3G, particularly the rural population, I think you can have a great market there.
Yeah, so basically we save cost on delivery, but we actually increase the conversions for the clients. We improve their SEO, more traffic, low bounce rate. The usage of videos on the website. No e-commerce use videos the same as the use on like Facebook. Because of the size of the files, our videos will be smaller than images. And you can start using 4K, 8K images per each end user device automatically delivers the right format and the right resolution.
Sounds great. Thanks.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. If there are no questions, then actually our pitching part is over. And in just a couple of minutes, we will announce the results and the overall results of today. And in the meantime, I would like to pass the word to Anna.
Thank you, Marina. Yes, startups, congratulations. That is all. You can exhale and just wait for the results. And we will talk a little bit with judges about you. But 1 minute to finish voting. You can change votes, you can not change them. We will be closing a vote in 1 minute and we will know who is the winner, who is that successful startup who got the attention of the juries in the summer season, outperformed everyone. I was listening to the startups and more I listened to those wonderful innovations and solutions from all over the world. More I understand that in like a little while, they can take me apart and then bring me back together in more effective way. And I'll be transhuman or whatever it's called right now, outperforming myself. So I'm looking really forward to your innovations being implemented, because I'm really interested in living 150 years or whatever Alexander predicted us that we will all live, and be very productive in this. Okay, 20 more seconds to go. You voted? Not. If you voted, so we can close the votes. Okay, I see you nodding.
Anna, where's the link to vote? I'm just curious.
Wow, Jim, that's the question to ask. It is in your calendar together with your Zoom link.
Oh, okay.
You go to the event page, and beneath the startups, you see those boxes as always, and you just put a vote to every startup. Okay, you see it? You got it?
Yes.
Oh, wow. Okay, then we'll wait for Jim to vote, and then we'll close the vote. So Jim, please nod at me and when you
as fast as I can, looking for it.
Okay. Okay.
Oh, well, that couldn't be, could it?
Maybe, Jim, you need to compress the time by the two.
SpeedSize, yes.
Jim, I will share this link with you in a direct message, okay?
Okay.
Yeah, here in chat, you'll get the message from our Mary, and you can vote. But still, very great pitches. Let me ask startups, was it harder to pitch the second time, or was it easier to pitch the second time? SpeedSize, what do you say?
Actually, I enjoyed it. The second time is much more easier. So great to be part of this unique event of potential great unicorns. Happy to be here, and thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you. Sylvan Source, what can you say? Is it easier to compete with the great guys, or is it harder to compete at the international level?
No, I think it's the same. I think it doesn't really make that much of a difference because we're an international company already. I think it's this was just a little more challenging than some because of the time zones. Yeah, so it's a bit of a marathon in that way.
Yeah,
but you get the adrenaline going, and it's fun, and it's great talking to the judges. So
wonderful, great to have you. Privacy optimization. Well, what can you tell us? Is it really interesting to pitch in such like long event, one session, second session, different questions from different parts of the world?
Yeah, it was actually a great experience. I would say that there was quite a difference compared to the other competition that we did, because here we see that there is a strong interest in biotech from the investor side that we did not know, were aware about, and it is really interesting to see where the interest of investors are going. So it is really tough competition, great startups, and it was an honor to pitch in front of all these investors and great startups.
Okay, wonderful. Jim, how are you doing?
Go ahead.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Okay, thank you, Jim. Okay, Jim said us to go ahead, and let's close the votes in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. No one can vote. We know the final results. You will know them in just a minute or 2 or 3. We will talk to official judges and find out who were their favorites. Jim, let's talk to you. Welcome, Jim Simmons. You connected a little bit late. We couldn't introduce you. You're managing partner at Godspeed Ventures, right? And please, you represent California. Here at this event, you said that biotech market a little bit hot. So your favorite startups are not biotech ones, right?
Well, yeah. I mean, I think biotech is great. It doesn't have to be our space. We have have relationships with Caltech and other universities, and typically enterprise deep tech, physics and chemistry are our type of deals. And full disclosure, we're an investor in Sylvan Source, so we're very biased. We're big believers in the deal. We put several million in, and we think it's we think it's a great technology. We have another deal that's involving fashion technology. So it's, but biotech is great. It just doesn't happen to be a space we're experts at. So but it's powerful, and yes, it's hot right now. But there's a lot of great startups. This has been a great competition, and so we're very happy to be here.
But you bet on Sylvan Source?
Absolutely. This thing is going to be. Yes, I'm biased. We know the team well. They won't tell you, but the two co-founders took their laptop computer division at Hewlett Packard from 400 million to 2 billion in 2 years. So it's a pretty good team.
Okay. Thank you, Jim. Kelly, how is it looking from Canada perspective? Who are your favorites and why?
First of all are great pitches. Congratulations to all the entrepreneurs and startups. And thank you, Anna and Unicorn.Events to organize such a wonderful session. So my favorite is Eunimart, just because of our focus. So they already have the paying customers and their go-to-market strategies are very solid. So this is my favorite. The other one is the Matricelf from Toronto, as always, as last time.
Okay. It's
they have very solid business model. Like they have 3D printers, software plus the bio ink. That's a very solid business model. So I wish them all the best.
Okay, very interesting. Okay, let's go to Gaurav. What does India think about today's event and contestants? And did you pick the one and only?
And I wish I could pick one and only, right? All 10 were extraordinary. They were not good, very good, but they were extraordinary. They all have competitive ideas, strengths, innovation, and more than that, a determination to succeed, right? Understanding the markets, understanding the audience, how to get there, and you love these kinds of ideas, right? So being a student of chemistry and science with all the innovations and patents, I loved some of these biotech companies today that had to present. Of all these, I think Matricelf is terrific with the ideas that they have, and Remedium comes second, right? But then at the end of the day, when you have to rate a winner, right, you have to see with some of the biotech companies, as we know, it could take some time to get there. And if they get there, it's a home run, no doubts about it. At the same time, with all the participants and startups participating today, you have to think of a winner, not just from an idea technology perspective or a business perspective or go-to-market, but which investment could give you the best return that it could ever be, right? And though I'm not invested in Sylvan Source, I agree with Jim that Sylvan Source is extraordinary and one of the rare disruptive ideas, being a chemical engineer and having worked in that. So that's my number one. But at the same time, I had also a tie-up with Eunimart. So my number one picks go to Sylvan Source and Eunimart. I think they both are very good, very knowledgeable and experienced to take the market, and they have a good potential. That's my side.
Wow, how interesting, how different from the first session. We heard little bit different approach of the judges, right, Marat? You have been to the first session and you can agree with me, right?
Not for me. I saved my previous marks because most of startups today were about biotech, and of course, I respect this sphere, and I agree with Alexandra that it's future technology. But to be honest, today my favorite startups was from familiar spheres, close spheres to me. I can mark SpeedSize, Abivin, and Steady Sense. They still my favorite.
Okay, thank you. Marisa, your very experienced investor in different fields. You're representing Silicon Valley, the power of startup financing. So what can you tell us? Who are your favorites?
Well, usually I'm very decisive, but not today. There were so many excellent startups that I think there's going to be probably a tie for first place. So mine were for first place. I like SpeedSize. I think that's a really good approach to a problem. And then also, let's see, Remedium, Voxel, and Sylvan Source, and Matricelf. So I had 5 #1 picks. So I don't know.
That's probably half of them.
Yeah, I know. I mean, they're really good. And then just as a side note, I had one investment I made. Their pitch was that they were going to exit in 18 months because they were going to get bought in the preclinical part. And it's 7 years later, and I'm still waiting.
Well, I wish you luck on that.
Thank you.
Okay, and let's go to Alexander. Please sum it up. All our 2 sessions, you've been to the first one, you've been to all our unicorn events and even unicorn pitches, also local events. You had seen startups coming from local to continental challenges and now to the world challenge. Did you change your mind? Did you put different marks in the second session, or you are staying with your favorites?
Thank you, Anna. First of all, I want to say that probably every startup which pitched today at Unicorn Cup could be a unicorn in the future, because it is a finalist. So, and I agree with Marisa that it was really hard today to choose the best one, but we need to do these hard choices. This is our destination, I mean judges. And, today, usually I vote for good traction, for the speed of how fast the growth of revenue is. But today, I don't know why, but my heart is for deep tech. And today I put the highest mark to all biotech and for SpeedSize. Yes, yes, yes. Okay. So this is my choice today. And
thank you, Alexander. Well, I'm ready to know who the winner is. After we announce the winner this minute, our marks, your marks will be published. You can go to the event page and check out the exact scores, but girls, show us who the winner is, who shares the final slide, the winner slide. Okay. You're muted, Marina, probably. I don't hear you.
Yeah, I'm here. So I would like to announce the place number 3 is Sylvan Source.
Woohoo! Congratulations!
Congratulations! And number 2, we have SpeedSize today.
Wow! Who is number 1 then?
Thank you.
Who is the winner?
Congratulations! And now the intrigue. Come.
Oh my God! How interesting. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
You are the ultimate winner. Our investors will be in contact with you. I wish you all the luck. You got it all.
Thank you very much.
Congratulations.
Can I say a few words?
Yes, sure. You should do that. Of course, the stage is yours.
So, again, thank you very much. We have an amazing team that wakes up every morning aiming to make the world a better place and making people walk again. And your belief in us is a small step for us, but a huge step for the patients that we aim to treat. So thank you very, very much. And we hope to become a unicorn soon, and we will remember where we started. So thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Yes, please get in contact with us if you want any direct interest, if we can help you in any way, dear startups, and not only Matricelf. You know where to find us. Let's keep in touch. And that was all. Summer season is over. Guys, have a great rest of the summer. And I see everyone on the 16th of September when we start our fall season. From the new unicorn battles, unicorn pitches, and unicorn cup in November. Thank you all.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Have a good day. Bye-bye.
Take care. Great event. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Anna. Thank you, Marina. Fantastic event and the season. My best wishes. Thank you so much for inviting.
Thank you very
Take
much.
care.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye, Jim. Thank you. Bye-bye. Bye, guys. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. Can we stop recording?